understand that the shit that I report and record and write FTRs on probably makes up for about 20% or less of the abuse and corruption that I go through. They're now not allowing select text messages to go through my mom, the father of my youngest child, Alexis, her father, Orlando. His mom, some lady that we just met this morning that's a realtor with Redfin. On top of that, they're sending me a bunch of abortion and adoption rhetoric, knowing that I just lost twins. And that I have no intention to give up my baby, any of my children, ever. They're sending me shit about being trans. I'm not trans, I'm a woman. I've given birth 3 times and I'm about to do it again. Blatant disregard for the law in this country that says that we cannot lock our citizens outside of shelter or food or employment. And seeing how people handle things. Maybe it's to exonerate people who have been homeless before that they've been forcing into fucked up positions. This is the 4th year that I've been being oppressed out of any sort of income. And I'm not talking donations. I'm talking about I create an idea, launch a store, build a website.
You sure about that?
And then when I click publish, they don't allow it to publish. I'm talking about I find a safe spot stashed away from everyone and fake police come in and throw me out of my own spot that I have legal right to be in. I'm talking about being raped, being robbed, going and replacing all the items that were just robbed from me. I'm not talking money. They don't steal my money anymore. They try, but I rarely have more than a couple dollars. And most of the people who steal money know that I have children and now they steer clear and they don't do me like that. But they've stolen everything from me. I mean, I can't even fucking buy myself a pack of socks and still have it. I need compression socks so I don't get blood clots. Every pair is gone out of my belongings. 6 pairs of compression socks I bought a week ago. This, what I've just described in these last 3 messages, this is 1 week of harassment. Plus about 60 to 100 voicemails telling me to kill myself and that I'm a fat, ugly pig. Not a pig, never been a pig, not a cop, never been a cop. You got the wrong girl. And it's like I said, if I was a dumb bitch who, didn't put myself through all of this schooling and education and prepare myself for so many different life outcomes, then fine. Call me the dumb bitch that I am and hold me accountable. I hustled my ass off as a single mother at 18 years old, putting myself through college. All legal jobs. I didn't go to strip clubs. I wasn't selling drugs. I wasn't even in the game of sex work or the sexual entertainment industry until I was 28 years old, and I was human trafficked, groomed, and coerced by a man. What the fuck is wrong with you people? And it's like I told you people before, I'm not under any obligation to do shit. Nothing. I voluntarily have allowed about 30 different doctors to evaluate me so that you would shut the fuck up. And every one of them sided with me and said, not only is she strong and intelligent and capable, she's not crazy at all. And under similar circumstances, most people would not survive. Where the fuck is my plaque or reward money or some shit? Why am I being pursued as a rape victim? Like, who are these people that get off on having sex with women who don't want to fuck with them? Why am I being pursued for my socks. Like, what the fuck is going on? And then I call 911. 911. I'm calling 911. Every single time I call 311. That is felony, class X felony, obstruction of justice, to prevent someone from calling 911. And I'm calling 911 and they're obstructing my fucking calls and telling me, I don't know what the laws are about people being locked outside in the winter. What the fuck do you mean you don't know? I'll tell you. Do you have a text message number where I can send you a direct link? What the fuck? This is city officials giving this information to me. I'm tired, bro. I'm in my 3rd trimester of pregnancy. My hips feel like they're popping out of their fucking sockets. I'm tired. God. Nothing but hatred coming through my line. Fucking evil, nasty shit. People using my name to cancel my doctor's appointments and reschedule them for other times and days without even asking me. I don't know who the fuck these people are. Then I get approached this morning by someone from Redfin, and she hands me a $100 bill. And I feel like crying. Why the fuck am I feeling like crying over $100? Why the fuck have I been so oppressed out of money that $100 is enough to make me cry? Yeah, it's great to feel gratitude, but what the fuck? I'm not a dummy. I have a college education. Without the college education, I'm a fucking boss, bro. I know how to sell shit. I know how to make shit work. I know how to build shit. I know how to earn money. I don't deserve to fucking sleep in a stairwell or a fucking tent. And then I try to text this lady, oh, thank you so much. She's a real estate agent. She wants to help us get an apartment. Xavier's father supposedly says he's gonna pay $1,000 a month towards our rent, right? And I fucking text this lady, this real estate agent, and look I'm gonna post right here. This is what they said. Message not sent. Why, Google? What's your fucking problem? What is going on? 1 second I'm being accused of getting Botox in the tent and my forehead is so on point I cannot make a wrinkle if you paid me. And the next second I have 3 horizontal lines going, or vertical lines going like this, and they're calling me the mark of the beast. Then the next day, those lines are gone and there's 2 deep lines in the center of my forehead. What the fuck is going on? And on top of that, they're telling me that I'm, quote, in the game, whatever that means. I don't do any fucking crimes. I'm barely surviving at this point. I'm fully capable of not only surviving, but thriving, taking care of myself and 3 children as I have their entire lives. But let's not even pay attention to that. Now they want me to work for free. Okay, so from the tent where you keep me in 20 degrees, let me just start writing ad copy for all these hoes and helping people with their businesses, like I haven't already been doing that for the past 6 to 10 years. When is it my turn to actually be able to support myself? What the fuck is going on in this fucked up ass city? But we'll just be grateful. Thank you, God, that my toes and fingers are still on my limbs when it's 20 degrees outside and I start going numb at 40. Thank you, God, that I have been able to remain in communication with my 2 older kids, even though it literally kills me a little every single day since the last time I spoke with my youngest and I haven't been able to speak with her. Thank you, God, that I'm carrying this pregnancy to full term rather than you taking this baby from me how you did the twins at 18 weeks. Thank you, God, for all of the... I'm struggling here, you guys. There are days I'm in my 3rd trimester of pregnancy going with a half of a meal all day and no water, nothing to drink. And when I try to get up and move, they won't allow me to get up and move. What the fuck is going on? Like I told that lady from this morning, Jessica. ¿Sabes qué, Jessica? I'm not a tremendously faithful person. It's difficult for me to keep hope. Literally at this point, hope is all I have left. And I've tried everything and then some. And it reminds me of the mustard seed. You guys know the story of the mustard seed? And now this is how I have to sleep, with no blankets because they're all soaked. This is nothing but tarp. All of our sleeping bags and pillows are soaked. Pillows are trash. Sleeping bags are literally carrying probably 30 to 20 pounds of water. I've been contracting on and off all night. I'm freezing. And trying to remember the mustard seed. To take that, like if you are getting a blood clot, or things of that nature, which I have felt like I might be getting before, especially when I was driving a lot. But here's the thing, I didn't tell Dr. Jenkins anything about that. I swear to God I did not. So I was really just, I don't know. And then she gave me lab work and I took it to 4 different labs, including Northwestern. Northwestern is a forward-thinking hospital. They have every test that they make. If it's a real test, Northwestern will have it. And the lady's like, well, this is a vaginal specimen collection test at Northwestern. I'm like, why would Dr. Jenkins give me that? And I have a primary care physician. If I was gonna go for treatment for blood clots, they're not bad enough that I need them. They massage out, and as long as I stay active, and I move around, and walk at least a couple of blocks every day, I don't get them, and they don't affect the baby. So how would she even, it's just crazy. She already knew. It's just wild. And then, so I have this blood work test order that I've taken to 4 different hospitals. I'm still carrying it with me. I have a new nurse practitioner that I'm establishing care with, just to get another opinion on everything. And I've sent copies of everything to my primary care physician, who I've been seeing for 10 years. But it's our real estate agents or whatever, why is anyone, meaning why am I outside in a tent? I wake up every morning, you guys, and I swear to God to you, the first thing on my mind is, are the kids okay? Text the kids. And then I grab my phone, no matter what time it is, if it's 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., if it's around the time they're going to get up for school, I send them their good morning text, because I never want any of my kids to look at their phone for approval, acceptance, attention from anyone and not get it. That's all I think about. It's your boyfriend and girlfriend's job to text you and vice versa in the morning and set the tone for the day, in my opinion. Know that your mother loves you. Know that your mother woke up and is alive this morning. Have someone that you know is going to call you. Is this fading yet? Or that cares if you have, a good day or not. That. Not all children have that. That's love. Snapchat is an excellent marketing tool, especially for local business. If you guys haven't been following that, I posted some stuff about that on the GoPro Solo production page. If you guys are aspiring influencers or small business owners and you haven't tapped into the 5 free channels of social media advertisement, I talk a lot about those channels on the GoPro Solo production page, so you guys can follow that page. But yeah, it's just in one night I have 10 things to document. Do you guys want to hear that? So last night we got here and we're back in Lincoln Park again because I began having contractions when I was on my way to do laundry. So I went to Target on Division and got some Tide Pods, a bunch of them, and then I got some more socks, since they stole my socks overnight while we were here somehow. And then we began walking toward the laundromat, as if it's not enough that I have all my belongings and clothes and shit on this cart. Xavier then gets gifted a fucking piano. Here, it's right here. I'll show you guys. It's massive and it's heavy. and it's a nice one, you know? So we're walking down the street and we have all of our bags. Oh, and I'm cold. We have all of our bags and shit. And they're like, I keep all of our clothes because the luggage gets wet and then the clothes get yucky. So we don't really carry luggages anymore. I think he has one luggage. The rest that we use are like those extra large plastic, not garbage bag material, not Marshall's bag material. It's like extra durable. It's like almost like a tarp. It's this extra large bag from Target. They only cost $5. You guys know Target has come in clutch at every step in this life. But we put all our clothes in there, and then I have a laundry bag that's like felt lined that I wash with the dirty laundry for our sleeping bags and our pillow, my pillow and the neck pillow and his yoga mat, yoga blocks. And I use hand sanitizer to clean the inside of the tent, or Lysol wipes or Clorox wipes. And I do laundry weekly, every like 5 to 9 days, depending on need, at the laundromat. And usually I go do laundry once when we're not going to see the kids, and once on our way to see the kids, and then one time hit or miss. It could be when we're seeing the kids. It could be in the week off when we're seeing the kids. So it's usually 3 to 4 times a month I'm doing laundry. If we have a lot of weather, it's more frequently than that. So it's expensive and annoying. So we didn't get to the laundromat last night. But we get back here after grabbing food at Lou Malnati's. It was fucking delicious, by the way. We had chicken fettuccine Alfredo and a salad, a house salad. It's not like the most glamorous Italian restaurant that there is. Like, it's not, you know... And this is my first time sitting down to eat like a normal meal in a while. Usually he's like holding me here in the fucking tent and bringing the food here, and I don't know. They say that they're trying to like get shit together and like get a plan together for how to help me have an apartment, you know, in the next few weeks. And supposedly there's some hearsay from numerous people in the community that have said that the community has gotten together an apartment before for me. Heather Gillespie is my name, in case you don't know. Some people call me Coco. Not Coco the Savage and not Coco the Trans. Coco Chanel YSL. But yeah, it's crazy because I do all of this preparation and cleaning and organization and being proactive, calling 311 for lock a person outside of shelter in Chicago. It's winter. It's just wild, you guys. It's crazy. So we get back to this spot in Lincoln Park, and we met one sponsor yesterday, or a potential sponsor, a friend, for the first time. Her name is Jessica. She works for Redfin. So if you guys are looking for any real estate, she handles sales as well as rentals, and she's going to work with Xavier's father, or we gave Xavier's father her card to begin working with her to get us the apartment. I followed her on here. If you guys, like I said, are local to Chicago and you're looking for a rental property or a house to purchase or condo to purchase, DM me and I'll send you her info. She was really sweet and understanding and positive to work with. So we kind of went over the situation, what we're looking for, what we need, the big kids, you know, the baby. We need a functional space for not that much money that I can use in an economy way. So like, I need to be able to put a bed for the baby, maybe a futon. I need either a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom, or even a studio if it comes down to that, to accommodate anywhere from 3 to 6 people in a way that's comfortable. So it's giving me an opportunity to stage my own place. And that's one of the services that we're also offering through GoPro Solo. So there's just been a lot in the last 24 hours. The meeting with the real estate, I showed her Xavier's Fine Art for curation. And there are some new concepts coming up for artists where you don't even need to sell your art. You can rent your pieces of art, unique custom pieces, for staging in spaces. And then when the property begins to, have open houses and seek interest, the property doubles as a sort of art gallery. So you can rent your art pieces to your real estate agent. There's just a lot of business opportunity and opportunity for collaboration to make money. And I'm excited that we met this woman yesterday. She's a real estate agent. I think it's going to be a good opportunity. And I think that if there are any more real estate agents or event planners, party planners, event space decorators, curators, even people who work in catering, we can all, collaborate with each other. That doesn't mean that there's going to be paid work for every single person at every gig. You know what I'm saying? Part of the lessons I learned in staffing are that you take the budget and then you staff the minimum number of positions that you need. You pay as much as humanly possible for the lowest amount of staff, so that each job to pay, like a team. So that's the type of collaboration I'm looking for. We have all of his art posted on the GoPro Solo page, and that's what I keep trying to show people. There are a million different ways that we can be beneficial other than to be laying down in this tent. And this is the part where law enforcement and the authority needs to come in. Law enforcement and the authority need to come in not to be collaborators in my real estate projects, because that's not their job. What is your lane? If someone is fucking with us, that would be law enforcement's job, right? If I'm telling law enforcement, I've been in a tent for 12 months nearly in February. If we make it to February, which I can't because I'm delivering in February, it would be a full year that we would be in this tent. Thank you so much, Michaela. We just received a $25 gift card to Walgreens from Michaela. That is so clutch. Thank you so much. Thank you. But yeah, so there's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of shit going on. I'm just super eager for everyone to come together in a way that's united for resolutions, and very eager to go see my kids, drop them off some groceries. Does anyone have any experience with Amazon delivering food to the house but being permitted to pay with a link card? Has anyone ever actually done that before? It's a far walk, and since I was contracting yesterday, we're going to take the metro today. But just for the future, it would be good to know, is that real? I've never tried it before. So we're going to go drop off food to the kids this week sometime today, but then I don't know when we'll be back. Sometimes we spend the night out there. Sometimes we don't. Either way, I have to get that done, and that always makes me feel better. Viviana called me yesterday while I'm sitting at Lou Malnati's, and she's like, Mom, I'm at the mall. I need $15 on Cash App because I haven't eaten today. I literally just spent the $15 on Tide Pods at Target, because you guys know me. I'm always trying to leave a financial trail of where I've been by using my debit card as opposed to cash, just because there's been so much drama. And so I'm like, oh, I have $19 on Cash App. Let me just buy the Tide Pods here. So I put 5, and they were $23 bucks. I put 5 cash and then spent everything I had on Cash App. And then I go to Lou Malnati's. We eat a lot of fast food. I'm not ashamed, but kind of embarrassed to admit I'm a fitness girl. You guys know that. So I'm grateful that I'm not hungry, but this is not what I'm used to. So I was already feeling guilty for going to Lou Malnati's to begin with. And then, of course, as soon as the food gets, sent to the table, my daughter calls me, who I've been having very difficult communication with over the last week or two. closer to 4 weeks actually. She started hanging out with her boyfriend every day, every single day. And so right now I don't have shelter, so I can't shelter them. However, their uncle, Fernando, Eric, SpongeBob, shout out to you guys. Their dad, shout out to you, Louis. Xavier helping me with food, shout out to you, Xavier. And the Lolo and the Lala, that's what they call their grandma and grandpa. They hold it down for food and shelter and clothes. And I go out there and bring whatever I can whenever I can. So acknowledging that my kids are my responsibility, because this is my belief system, and that I'm not able to fully provide for them in the way I have the rest of their life, is like heart-wrenching for me. Like, you don't understand. I've said it a million times and I mean it, I would give a fucking limb to be able to be with my children and be supporting them without having to rely on anyone else. So I'm very grateful to have that support for them, but I just miss them a lot, and taking care of things on my own and making this monthly or bi-monthly walk out there. Not only does it keep me active this entire pregnancy, I've been walking at least one time a month. The first 3 months, we went out there 3 or 4 times. We went out there like every week, and we had bikes and we would go biking like 20, 30 miles. I was so active the first trimester, it's not even funny. The second trimester, about the same thing for the first 2 months. We were biking, we were walking, and I should have like a really, really great amount of muscle mass built up. As you guys know, I'm a weightlifter, which really excites me because I do plan on going, back to the gym full time after this baby number 4 is born. And I'm literally begging God to please let me be a competitor. I want to compete. So, if anyone's been following since my competitor days, 2015 was when I was prepping to compete. I never actually made it to prep. I was on prep diet. I spent thousands on prep training and coaching. And that's when I was kidnapped into the underworld. So, work and promoting and making money started taking precedence over going to the gym. And then the sleep, fucked up schedules, and just being with the kids, spreading myself between being with the kids and being there for Dylan in prison and doing everything else that I was doing with work. I didn't really have like much time to compete. I would be lucky to get an hour or 2 at the gym, and that's not what I'm used to. I'm used to spending six hours at the gym, 4 hours at the gym. And that's because I would use it as a spa as well. So I was doing full wellness, not wellness in the bodybuilding sense, wellness in mental, spiritual, physical. I would spend about an hour stretching and doing yoga. I would spend about 20 minutes teaching myself boxing or some other form of self-defense. I would do every weight group that I needed or that was scheduled. I would do about an hour of cardio, usually stairs or swimming. And then I would go into the locker room and do an hour, half-hour dry sauna, or 10 minutes dry sauna, 10 minutes wet sauna, and then like 40 or 30 minutes in the hot tub, and then I'd go and shower and blow dry my hair really nicely and do my makeup. And the difference in confidence levels when you're able to do that for yourself versus when you are not, oh my God, you guys, it's crazy. It doesn't even compare. You feel like such a fucking peon when you're not taking care of yourself after you know what it feels like to take care of yourself, And then the very first thing I wanted after learning, because I was never a big water drinker. I would drink Crystal Light, like no sugar or low sugar, mix it up in a pitcher, add some little chopped limes and lemons. I would buy my kids Hawaiian Punch, the big, huge 3 gallon bottle that comes in red, purple, orange, and green. I'd buy them that, and I'd get myself Crystal Light in pitchers, and I'd always get a case of water, but it lasted us forever because we weren't a water drinking household. When I started hitting the gym in 2014-15, I completely stopped buying juice. And when my children were babies, and I lived with my ex's parents, we all lived together. They're super traditional Mexicans, so they believe that babies should drink apple juice and milk and water, and they have that in the house, and that's what they always give the kids. So that's all we would always usually drink, juice, apple juice, milk, and occasionally they would buy refresco. Like, it was wild. My father-in-law would come home on like certain Fridays with like 3 Little Caesars, 2 gallons of Cokes, and we were like not poor kids, but like it was me, my brother-in-laws, my daughter, like there was like a whole gang of us in the house, and we would throw on boxing or a sporting event or a movie and have all this like junk food, and we didn't have soda regularly, so we would like be turned up to have like a 2 liter of Coke or Manzanita Sol or some shit. That was the shit. Fanta, you know? And that was my first marriage. And then with Orlando, I was like big in the gym. I was like, oh hell no, I'm not going. But Orlando gave up on the gym quick action. So he would start like bringing arancinis, and he's a big guy, like he likes to eat. And he would like go buy Borinquen and Wingstop and shit and Portillo's. That was his love language. So that's how he would show me love. He'd pick me up from work when we would be arguing, and he'd have like a combo from Portillo's with cheese sauce on the side, hot jardinera on the side, a large fry, a Milky Way, and a bouquet of flowers. He did that once. The rest of the time it'd be like, what do you want? I'll buy you whatever you want. But it was always food, you know, that was the incentive with him. And I cooked a lot too. We always lived together. In all my relationships, I've always cooked a lot. Then Orlando and I broke up, and Dylan and I were together for 5 years, but Dylan was in prison the whole time. So it was just me cooking for me and the kids. Oh my God, you guys, I used to cook the most delicious shit. I cook every day. And it was healthy and delicious, and I was snatched as fuck. And my only concerns were like the kids in the house, because Dylan would call for 4 or 5 hours a day, but most of the calls were during the daytime while the kids were in school. And I would talk to him at nighttime. Usually he was on a schedule, so he'd go outside to the gym. He'd call as soon as he got back in from working out. He'd call before they'd call them out for the yard. He'd call as soon as they got back from working out or after a shower. He'd call in the evening time, and there was always a line. They'd like reserve spots. And if he wanted like to have sexy phone time, which was like very frequently, he would call at the last available 30-minute phone slot, because I would have to put my kids to sleep. I remember one time, you guys are never gonna believe this. One time I was like, I never masturbated before, never in my life. I didn't know how. And he like convinced me to buy a vibrator. He stayed on the phone with me, and we went to the sex toy store together. And we were like having this sexy conversation, and I fall asleep and wake up the next morning. The big kids are at school because my ex's dad, Lewis's dad, used to pick them up in the morning. So I'd get up and like stumble out of bed like, are you guys up? They're like, yes. I'm like, you're dressed? Because I would laid out their outfits the night before, and they'd put their clothes on, and they'd always be like, we can't find socks. I'm like, there's socks right there. It would be so fucking chaotic in the mornings, you guys. That's always been a problem in my household, someone stealing our socks. You see, still to this day, from the fucking tent, these motherfuckers are stealing my socks. It doesn't matter how many socks I buy. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, Alexis woke up because the big kids had already left for school, and the vibrator was like in my bed with me. I had fallen asleep, and she's like, Mom, what's this? She's like 4 years old. I'm like, I told her it's a diving stick for the pool. Don't play with it. It's Mommy's for when I go swimming. She gave it back and never asked again. Like, it was so embarrassing. But anyways, I would always cook so healthy and like just had such good routine. Even though shit was chaotic and scary, like not knowing where my next dollar would come from, because I was living rich dad life, not poor dad life. You know, I was making my own money at that time, not living off of a paycheck or a combination of both. I'd get a small paycheck from like a bartending job or whatever, but I was like hustling. I was staffing shows. I was working trade shows. Let me put it this way. When you work as a trade show model, you work through another company, and they offer you your budget and give you like the task, and then you staff the position. So I would be staffing the positions. And I would get paid a little higher because I'm the team lead. So I have to like put all this time into like getting the supplies. Sometimes they'd have them delivered to McCormick Place, which was always best. If they were smaller promos, like brand ambassador jobs, you have to fucking carry your own table and shit. Like, what a penis. But McCormick Place gigs, they send everything directly to the office, so you don't really need a car. That's why trade show modeling is an excellent option. But like I would prepare meals. Someone's screaming outside. I would prepare meals, go work these trade shows, and then like try to live my life as stably as possible, and feel this tremendous amount of anxiety over where my next payment was going to come from. And I don't mean payment like sponsorship. I mean like what job, what gig, how was I going to pay this next round of bills? You know? And there were months that there was no way. There was no way. So I was on and off of Link. You know, there were years when I didn't have it at all, and then there were years when I needed it for a few months. But that was the most amount of instability that I had in my life, was like not knowing how or where the next money would come from. But I was working a million different jobs and like gigs and shit. I'm doing a live. Oh my God, guys. Yeah, I told you guys this already. I would make my go-to dishes would be turkey chili, super healthy, high protein and high fiber. And the kids would like it too, because even if they didn't like beans, which most of the time they would eat them, but even if they didn't like it, it was just like, I would just make like protein pasta, you know, the cavatappi's, the banza ones. I love those banzas. Or the shells. And I would combine them all together and make like a chili mac, and that would last us 2 days of dinner. I would make it in the crock pot, and I would make like a chicken bake, like chicken with broccoli and white rice. Oh my God, so good. Throw a little cheese on top, and that would last us like a day or two, you know. Or I would make like a big thing of just random shit. Like I'd do a line of frozen broccoli, a line of black beans, and a line of like the 3-pound Genio ground turkey. I'd make that, or ground sirloin. I'd make that. And then I'd use it for a variety of shit. I'd make a bowl for myself, or tacos for the kids with the meat, and just heat up tortillas. I ate a lot of scrambled eggs. I fed my kids well, and I ate well, and we switched to nothing but water, and I stopped buying juice, and I was never a purchaser of soda, really. So I was in the best shape of my life. And then I started staying up, you know, for work on Friday and Saturday nights, and because I would be awake for so long, I would not be hungry. Oh my God, you guys. I had lean muscle mass built up, and I was losing fat like it was my job. Oh my gosh, you have no idea. Those were the good old days. People are always like, it's not about who you were, it's about who you are. Motherfucker, I have always been a boss. Fuck do you mean? Every single experience I've gone through in life, I've taken everything I've learned and elevated myself. So how do you explain this tent situation? You know, and that's the confusion part for me. That's where I don't understand. So the last 24 hours, some fucking random ass lady comes to where we're at. Hold on, I need to find my charger. Babe.
Yeah.
I need that double insert that has the one that, the other end of my iPhone,
You don't already have it?
No, not the regular USB, the micro USB.
Wait, I'll get it.
Okay. Yeah, some fucking weird ass lady. She sounds like she's slurring her speech, could be drunk. It's a Sunday. We're at Lincoln Park. This is a great social justice point that I'd like to make for you guys as well. This bitch is like screaming and slurring. I'm in a dead coma. I'm asleep. It's like midnight at this point. I was having contractions all day. We were walking all over. I was crying. I was up. I was down. My emotions were everywhere. I'm in my 3rd trimester of pregnancy. Can you give me a fucking break? Like, seriously. She rips out the extension cord because we're like laying right next to an electrical outlet in a field, and we need it to keep warm. I have borderline anemia, so I lose feeling in my limbs, and we don't even have blankets because everything got soaked and muddy and whatever. So she rips out the extension cord and starts screaming at the top of her lungs. You guys, I jump up I'm sleeping like on my yoga mat right here. I have my head on my little pillow right here, and like I surround myself with my bags so that in case anyone kicks the wall, me and my baby are protected. And thank you. And she's like, fuck you, get your fucking cord. I pay rent here. Bitch, you pay rent at the zoo? Are you a fucking bear? Fuck, are you a fucking peacock, bitch? The fuck do you mean? We are at Lincoln Park Zoo. You do not pay rent here. That's number one. Number two, even if you do pay rent here, we are sitting across from zoo lights. Who knows? Raise your hand. Hit the heart button if you know what Zoo Lights is. Zoo Lights Chicago. Thank you, babe.
Freezing cold.
Zoo lights. How much electricity are they using? It's a free zoo. This is a zoo that does not charge admission, people. If you've not been down to Lincoln Park Zoo Lights, it is a beautiful time. We haven't gone this year, but oh my God, it's gorgeous. Thank you, babe. Such a good time. But this lady, it's midnight. Zoo Lights is turned on all night long. And she just scared the fuck out of me out of sleep. Xavier's like, fuck you. I'm like, Xavier, shut up. She's like, I'm an emergency room nurse. And I don't like that I have to pay. She goes, I wish I could live in a tent. I said, hold on. Can we find someone? I sometimes feel like they're keeping me out here because they can't find someone else who, can be effective in the way that I can in whatever they've got me doing. This bitch just volunteered. She said she wishes she could be the one laying in a field, in a tent. Someone please find this bitch, bring her back. Xavier and I will be the emergency room nurse. I will take over payments on her apartment, not a problem. I worked at Northwestern for many, many years. Not a fucking problem, bitch. Run it, deal, right? She starts getting into it with Xavier, trying to fight him. Xavier wakes me up. Xavier's not confrontational. Xavier would never let me get into a fight. For some reason last night, he says to me, babe, please help me. I take out my mace. I have no energy left. I have no energy left. Normally I'd be like the kind person. One of two people when you wake me up from sleep. Either I'm concerned and very rational if I've had enough sleep. If I've not had enough sleep, I am like, get the fuck away from me. Literally. I need sleep. I need food, I need sleep. I was a combination of both. So I'm like, shut the fuck up, stop talking to her, who cares? She's like, I'm calling 911. Good luck, bitch. I've been calling 911 several times a day, every day, looking for shelter assistance. They never come.
No, you said,
good luck.
You said
I didn't say that. I'm just telling you. Everyone knows. Don't interrupt my lives because you always do some fuck shit and fuck me.
Do you have a job? And she said yes.
I already mentioned that.
She's hiring.
So, what are you talking? Be quiet. Please be quiet and eat your food. Please, for the love of God. You're saying shit that makes no fucking sense. Regardless, this ignorant bitch calls 911 on Xavier, proceeds to get into a fight with him. Xavier would never allow me to argue with a woman or a man. Literally, unless a woman was lunging at him, Xavier would never involve me. Xavier always says, I'm a queen and I don't argue with peasants. And I agree with him. So, I'm so tired. I reach in my purse. I take out my mace. I set it right here. I take out my scissors. I set them right here. I said, Xavier goes, I'm going to kill this bitch. I said, look, feel free to do what you need to do. Here are the scissors. They're right here. Here is the mace. I need to go back to sleep now. I am fucking tired and in my third trimester of pregnancy, motherfucker. Leave me alone. So that happened. And we're still, how long is this live right now, you guys? And we're still talking, literally about the past 12 hours of my life. Yeah, let me jump right into a courtroom and explain to them what's been going on. What the fuck? These are 12 hours. So she leaves, that lady leaves, I fall back asleep. I wake up literally about an hour or two later. You guys, I was in the most excruciating pain I can remember being in this entire pregnancy. It felt to me like, not my baby. My baby was moving around and fine. It felt like someone from the outside was ripping. It felt like I was having what I would imagine a cesarean section without anesthesia to feel like. It literally felt like someone was ripping my abdominal open. I was screaming and crying and begging. Xavier usually is like, babe, shh, okay, shh. He holds me really close to him like a baby, shh. Or if he needs to be babied because he's been emotionally overstimulated, then I hold him and I tell him, shh, That's how we get through these cold, long, lonely nights. And it was not like that last night. He was sitting on the yoga block in the corner like a straight creep, rocking back and forth. I'm like, what's happening to my abdomen? Help! I have no idea what the fuck is going on. I grabbed this Gold Bond out of my purse. I have a little sample bottle of Gold Bond, which is one of the most moisturizing over-the-counter lotions I've ever tried in my life. It has that non-medicated fresh scent, but it's still super thick, like a medicated lotion. This is not a paid sponsorship, I'm just saying. But it could be, though. So I start squeezing Gold Bond all over my abdomen. Burning, it's itching. It feels like there's someone ripping it open. I'm like vigorously rubbing my abdomen. I'm freezing cold. By this time, Xavier had already replugged in the electricity, so it's back warm again in the tent. But I'm sleeping in a coat, you know, a thin pair of socks, and then this is the only blankie I have. And I had to hand dry my yoga because it was still wet. So I have no idea what the fuck went on after that. I rubbed my belly. I rubbed myself back to sleep. I've never rubbed my own belly back to sleep. Xavier's always the one rubbing my belly back to sleep, usually, if I wake up, you know. And I wake up another like 2, 3, maybe even 4 times, you guys, in excruciating pain from my hips. Xavier's like, do you want to smoke pot? I'm like, no, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to sleep. Leave me alone. It hurts. It hurts. My hip, my back, my butt. Help. I miss my kids. Help. You think everything's fine? That's literally, okay, how I spent my night last night. I have a doctor's appointment today with a nurse practitioner who I'm supposed to be having orders from Dr. Jenkins that she hand gave me and hand wrote. Who the fuck hand writes orders anymore? To complete out at this spot. They sent me a text message saying they were changing my appointment to the 30th. So I'm trying to call them. The office is still closed. I'm trying to have Dr. Jenkins send those lab orders straight to St. Joe's or Northwestern so I could have the blood work out here. We could leave all of our stuff at our storage space in the West Loop, which is like a construction site where the construction workers just don't fuck with our shit. And we wrap it all up in chicken wire and shit and tie it up. And then jump on the Metra to go drop off the groceries to the big kids. And then Xavier came in with a big breakfast. That was my last 12 hours. How have you guys been? What have you been up to? Like, what the fuck? So, okay. I hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to cut it off there for now. I'll check in with you later and give you some updates on the day. Nobody got stabbed. Nobody got maced. So there were numerous other intrusions to our peace, but please don't say shit like that, because then I'm gonna start getting nervous. I don't fight. I've never been in a fighter. I've never even pulled the trigger on a mace before. I don't want to have to tase a bitch. What the fuck? Shout out to Vivi and Lewis and Alexis. Mommy loves you so much, you guys. I hope you're having a great day in school. Please call me when you can. I love you. I'll be bringing out some groceries shortly. And the rest of you have a great day.